that time will come. A time will come that the people will be from the worst of people. And all of a sudden, their faces will be transformed into monkeys and pigs. The stones that destroyed the people of Lut, the same stones will descend and destroy these people. The same winds, the same tornadoes that destroyed the people of Ad, the same tornadoes will descend and destroy these people. And the earth will open and He will take them in, and down they will go right till the day of judgment. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, for 40 years there'll be no Iman. Whether it's here in Norway, whether it's in UK, whether it's in America, whether it's in Chechnya, whether it's in Bosnia, whether it's in Syria, there'll be no Iman. And then bear this in mind. It could be possible that as we see these people sitting, you are sitting and listening to a reminder. It could be possible that a person is in some shisha lounge. It could be possible that a person could be selling drugs. It could be possible that a person could be listening to Snoop Dogg. It could be possible that a person could be at home chilling out on his iPad or his iPhone. And all of a sudden, Allah will say to Israfil alayhi salam to blow through the horn. This angel is such that his eyes are fixed on the throne of the Creator. This angel is such that he does not blink. Why? Fearing that he'll miss the command of Allah. And when he blows, he will blow, and he'll give it such a blow that every single thing in the universe will come to an end. The K2, the Himalayas, the Everest, they will turn into dust. The sound of the horn is so terrifying. The earth will be like a vessel in the ocean getting battered by tornadoes from all directions. The sound of the horn is so terrifying. That mother who's got a baby in her stomach that is 6 months pregnant, 7 months pregnant, she will drop her load. She will miscarry her baby. Why? Because the sound of the horn. The sound of the horn is so terrifying that you will see on that day that child who's only 16 years old, 17 years old, 18 years old, his face will turn wrinkly, his hair will turn white, he will look like a person who's over 100. Why? Because this is the day of reckoning. And when this is taking place, you will see the mother who's got a child, she won't remember that she had a child. Why? Because the sound of the horn. The sound of the horn is so terrifying that you will see mankind will be in a drunken state, but in reality they won't be drunk. The hadith of Abu Huraira comes to mind that the shaitan and his army, they will begin to run and they will begin to hide. They will begin to run and they will begin to hide, but on that day there is no refuge. They will look above them, and what would they see? The sky will look like the black filth of oil, and it will crack piece by piece. The earth beneath them, it will crack piece by piece. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Picture this in your mind. The oceans, they will explode from their places. They will explode from their places. They'll be on fire on that day. The stars will lose their shine and they'll come crashing down, and there'll be darkness everywhere. And when there's darkness everywhere, the angel of death, it will say to Allah, "Oh Allah, all those are in the heaven and all those are in the world, they have come to an end, except for all those who you wish to remain alive." Allah will say, "Who remains?" And the angel of death will say, "Oh Allah, Jibril remains, Israfil remains, Mikael remains, and the angels who are carrying your throne, they remain." And then Allah the Almighty will say, let death come to Jibreel, let death come to Mikael, let death come to Israfil, and let death come to all those angels who are carrying my throne. And then Allah the Almighty will say, tell me, who remains? And the angel of death will say, oh Allah, I remain and you remain. Allah the Almighty will say that I created you for a purpose. Today you have fulfilled your purpose. You also die, and you will die. Then Allah the Almighty, He will roll up all the heavens in His hands. He will roll up all the worlds in His hands. And Allah the Almighty will say, I am the Almighty Allah. I am the Almighty Allah. For whom is the divine rule today? For whom is the power today? For whom is the kingdom today? I am the King of all kings. Where are your dictators? Where are your oppressors? No one will answer, and only Allah will answer. And Allah will say, power is for Allah, might is for Allah, the one, the only, the irresistible. The hadith states that the earth will be made flat, stretched like rubber. And Allah the Almighty will order the heavens to rain, and He will rain for 40 days until the water reaches 12 cubit. And when the water reaches 12 cubit, Allah the Almighty will say, Jibreel, Mikael, Israfil, Malak al-Maut, come to life. And they will all come to life. Then the souls of the believers will be brought. They'll be bright and shiny. Then the souls of the disbelievers will be brought, and they'll be dark and murky. And Allah the Almighty will place the souls in the horn and order Israfil alayhi salam to blow through the horn. And when he blows, he will give it such a blow that the souls will come out like the swarm of bees. They will cover the heavens and the earth, and they will enter the bodies, and everybody will be resurrected. Everybody will be resurrected. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that you will die the way you lived, and you will be resurrected the way you died. Allahu Akbar. Picture this in your mind. The one who done wudu with perfection, he'll be on the plane of resurrection in such manner. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. There'll be light covering his hands. There'll be light covering his arms. There'll be light covering his face. There'll be light covering his head. There'll be light covering his feet. There'll be light in front of him, light behind him, light on the left, light on the right. He'll be surrounded by light. Allahu Akbar. Then comes the Hujjaj on the plane of resurrection. They'll be resurrected in such manner. They'll be saying Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik. There'll be light in front of them, light behind them, light on the left, light on the right. They'll be surrounded by light. Allahu Akbar. The one, the Mujahideen, the one who sacrificed his life for the Almighty Allah. He'll be on the plane of resurrection in such manner. He'll be holding his own limbs. He'll be holding his own intestines. Allahu Akbar. There'll be light in front of him, light behind him, light on the left, light on the right. They'll be surrounded by light. Then comes the Mu'adhin. He'll be on the plane of resurrection in such manner that he'll be saying the adhan. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. There'll be light in front of him, light behind him, light on the left, light on the right. He'll be surrounded by light. Now comes the junkie. Now comes the druggie. Now comes the crackhead. Now comes the smackhead. Now comes the weedhead. He'll be on the plane of resurrection in such manner that the crack, the smack, the weed will be wrapped around his neck. His tongue will come down towards his waist like a thirsty dog. Between his skin and his flesh there'll be snakes and scorpions biting him. He'll be made to wear the slippers of hell. They'll make his brain bubble like a boiling water in a kettle. There'll be darkness in front of him. There'll be darkness behind him. There'll be darkness on the left. There'll be darkness on the right. He'll be surrounded by darkness. Allahu Akbar. The one who did not pray, the one who refrained to stand in front of the Almighty Allah, the one who refrained to go into ruku for the Almighty Allah, the one who refused to go in sujood for the Almighty Allah, he'll be on the plane of resurrection in such manner that he'll be raised with Fir'aun. Allahu Akbar. The two-faced guy, he'll be on the plane of resurrection in such manner. The hadith states that he'll have two physical faces. In another narration, he'll have two tongues made out of fire. The oppressor will be on the plane of resurrection in such manner. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. He'll be so much darkness, that if he was to place his hands in front of his face, he will not be able to see his own hands. The guy who's got two wives, he'll be on the plane of resurrection in such manner, if he does not deal with them justly, his body will be made in two halves. Allahu Akbar. The one who backbites, his face will be transformed into a monkey. The one who deals in haram, he'll be on the plane of resurrection in such manner that his face will be transformed into a pig. The thief on that day, he'll be on the plane of resurrection in such manner, whatever he robbed, it'll be surrounding him. The guy who likes wearing gold, the young kid, the guy who likes wearing gold, the gold chains, the gold rings, the bracelets, the gold teeth, he'll be on the plane of resurrection if he dies in this day, that the gold will be transformed into fire on that day. The one who's got money and does not give zakah, he'll be on the plane of resurrection in such manner that a snake will be wrapped around his neck. Allahu Akbar. Many people will be resurrected according to their sins. Some will be sweating up to their ankles, some will be sweating up to their knees, some will be sweating up to their collarbones, some will be drowned in their own sweat. No hope, no nothing. They'll be naked, they'll be barefooted, and they'll be uncircumcised. They will be screaming, they'll be cramped together. Fortunate is that person who finds a place to stand on the plane of resurrection. They'll be screaming, they'll be shouting, no hope, no nothing. Their tears will begin to flow. Their tears will begin to flow. Their tears will run out and blood will begin to flow from their eyes. Allahu Akbar. The sun will be above their heads. No hope, no nothing. For 50 years they will remain like this. For 50 years they will remain like this. No hope, no nothing. They will go to Adam alayhi salam and they will say to Adam alayhi salam, intercede for us, intercede for us, intercede for us. Adam alayhi salam will say, the Allah the Almighty is angry like never before. I do not know what will happen to me. Go towards Nuh alayhi salam. They will go towards Nuh alayhi salam and they will say to Nuh alayhi salam, intercede for us, intercede for us, intercede for us, intercede for us. Nuh alayhi salam will say, Allah the Almighty is angry like never before. I do not know what will happen to me. Go towards Ibrahim alayhi salam. They will go towards Ibrahim alayhi salam and they will say to Ibrahim alayhi salam, intercede for us, intercede for us, intercede for us, intercede for us. And he will say that Allah the Almighty is angry like never before. I do not know what will happen to me. Go towards Musa alayhi salam. They will go towards Musa alayhi salam and they will say to Musa, intercede for us, intercede for us, intercede for us. Musa alayhi salam will say, Allah the Almighty is angry like never before. I do not know what will happen to me. Go towards Isa alayhi salam. They will go towards Isa alayhi salam and they will say to Isa alayhi salam, intercede for us, intercede for us, intercede for us, intercede for us. Isa alayhi salam will say, Allah the Almighty is angry like never before. I do not know what will happen to me. Go towards Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They will go towards Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and they will say to him, intercede for us, intercede for us, intercede for us. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam will intercede, and his intercession will be accepted. And then Allah the Almighty will descend in a manner befitting Allah. Allah will descend in a manner befitting Allah on the plane of resurrection. A big explosion will take place. A big explosion will take place. And the first heaven will break into pieces. And the angels of the first heaven will descend. In their numbers, they'll be big, they'll be stronger, and they will encircle the plane of resurrection. They will outnumber mankind and jinn kind put together. Then the second explosion will take place, and the angels of the second heaven will descend in their numbers. Allahu Akbar, they'll be bigger, they'll be stronger, they'll be praising Allah, and they will encircle the plane of resurrection. They will outnumber the angels before them, mankind, jinn kind put together. And then the angels of the third heaven will descend. They'll be bigger, they'll be stronger, they'll be praising Allah, and they will encircle the plane of resurrection, and they will outnumber the angels before them, mankind, jinn kind put together. The angels of the fourth will descend. The angels of the fifth will descend. The angels of the sixth will descend. The angels of the seventh will descend. They'll be bigger, they'll be stronger, they'll be praising Allah, and they will encircle the plane of resurrection, and they will outnumber the angels before them, mankind, jinn kind put together. And then Allah the Almighty will descend in a manner befitting Allah. There's 8 angels who will be carrying Allah's throne on that day. One angel is so big that his feet is on the lowest earth, and his shoulder is above the highest heaven, and the throne of the Creator is upon their shoulders. And Allah the Almighty will say to these angels, I created you for a purpose. You have fulfilled your purpose. Do you know why I created you? Do you know why I created you? And the angels will reply by saying, Oh Allah, you know best. Then Allah will say, I created you that you carry my throne. You have fulfilled your purpose today. Ask for any power today, and you'll be given it. And the first angel will say, Oh Allah, give me the power of the water. The other angel will ask, Oh Allah, give me the power of the winds. The other angel will ask, Oh Allah, give me the power of the earth. And the other angel will ask, Oh Allah, give me the power of the heavens. And he'll be given it. Then Allah the Almighty will say, lift my throne. Lift my throne. But they will not be able to do so. Allah the Almighty will say, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. And when they say this, they will lift Allah's throne, and Allah will descend in a manner befitting Allah. Now judgment starts. Allah the Almighty will say to Jibreel, bring the fire of hell to me. Bring the fire of hell to me. The narration states 70,000 bridles will be around the fire of hell. On each bridle there'll be 70,000 angels that'll be controlling the fire of hell, and they will be dragging the fire of hell. Why? Because the fire of hell will be angry like never before. is surrounded by 4 walls. One wall is so thick that it will take a person 40 years just to cover its thickness. The color of the fire of hell, it was kindled for 1,000 years and it turned to the color red. Then it was kindled for another 1,000 years and it turned from the color red, white. Then it was kindled for another 1,000 years. Then it turned from the color white, black. And Allah the Almighty, He will make the moon and the sun into pieces and He will throw it into the fire of hell to intense its heat. And when the fire of hell, when it sees mankind, it will rage towards mankind. It will roar towards mankind. Everyone on the plane of resurrection, they will drop on their knees. To such an extent that Ibrahim alayhi salam will say, "Oh Allah, show mercy on me, I am your friend." Then the fire of hell, it will leap again towards mankind. It will rage towards mankind. Yet again, everyone on the plane of resurrection, they will fall on their knees. Then again the fire of hell, it will rage the 3rd time. It will roar towards mankind. Everyone on the plane of resurrection will fall flat on their faces, looking with the corner of their eyes, fearing that the fire of hell will take them. And then Allah the Almighty will say to the fire of hell, "Speak." And the fire of hell will say, "I swear there is no God worthy of worship except you, O Allah. I, the fire of hell, will take revenge today from all those people who lived a life of disobedience." The narration states, a neck will come out from a fire of hell. It'll have eyes and it will have a mouth. And the fire of hell will say that I have been assigned to take 3 people. Number 1, the arrogant. Number 2, those who give trouble to Allah and His Messenger. Number 3, those who make pictures. The narration states, first the fire of hell will say that I've been assigned to take out all those people who are arrogant, and He will take them out of their lines just as a bird picks up sesame seeds. Then the fire of hell will say that I have been assigned to take out all those people who give trouble to Allah and His Messenger, and it will pick them out from their lines just as a bird picks up sesame seeds. Then the fire of hell will say, I have been assigned to take out all those people who make pictures, who draw pictures, and He will pick them out of their lines just as a bird picks up sesame seeds. Allahu Akbar. Then Allah the Almighty will begin to judge the animals. One by one, Allah will judge them. And once the judgment is over, Allah will say, turn into dust. They will turn into dust. And now, Allah the Almighty will deal with mankind. Starting with the prophets of Allah. Allah will say, bring the preserved tablet. The preserved tablet will be brought. Allah will say to it, where is the Zabur? Where is the Tawrat? Where is the Injil? where is the Quran? And it will say that Jibreel has copied it from me. Jibreel has copied it from me. Allah the Almighty will say and call for Jibreel, and Jibreel will be born on the plane of resurrection. He'll be born on the plane, and Allah will say, tell me, what did you do with my books? What did you do with the Zabur? What did you do with the Tawrat? What did you do with the Injil? And what did you do with the Quran? Allahu Akbar. The narration states that Jibreel will be shaking. He'll be shaking. Why? Because he knows that Allah the Almighty is angry like never before. And Jibreel will say, I gave the Zabur to Dawood alayhi salam. I gave the Tawrat to Musa alayhi salam. And I gave the Injil to Isa alayhi salam. And I gave the Quran to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And then Allah the Almighty will say, bring Nuh alayhi salam to me. This messenger will be born, and Allah the Almighty will say that my angel has informed me that you are from amongst the messengers. Does he speak the truth? And Nuh alayhi salam will say, oh Allah, he speaks truth. Allah will say, what did you do with my message? And he will say, oh Allah, day and night I called them towards Tawheed. Oh Allah, they refused. Allah the Almighty will say, bring his people to me. Their people will be born, and Allah the Almighty will say that my messenger has claimed that he has delivered the message. Does he speak the truth? And his people will say, oh Allah, he's a liar. If this is the outcome of the prophets on that day, that their own people will say statements like this against them, tell me, what chance do you and I stand? One by one, the messengers will get judged. One by one, everyone, from the beginning of time right till the day of judgment, they'll be resurrected, and Allah the Almighty will judge them. There'll be two groups on that day. Those who receive the records in the right hand, and those who receive the records in the left hand. Those who receive the records in their left hand, they will be the inhabitants of the fire of hell. And those who receive the records in the right hand, they will be the inhabitants of Jannah. And who Allah has decreed for him to be in the fire of hell, Allah will say, take him, chain his hands, chain his feet. 70,000 angels will descend with chains. The narration of Ibn Kathir states, the chains will go from his back private part and come out from his nostrils, and he will be wrapped around, and he will be dragged, and he will be thrown in the fire of hell. He who lives a life of disobedience, indeed Allah will disgrace him like this. But remember, on that day there'll be a bridge, sharper than a knife, thin as hair. There'll be thorns coming out, spikes, slippery. There'll be angels on both sides with hooks made out of fire.